Natural-born writer, or did you develop that aptitude later on?
My mother was a reader, and she had delightful books, full of romantic fiction, princesses, early English dynasties, and books by Zane Grey and Louis L'Amour. I was a sickly kid, often home from school with one issue or another. In response to my loneliness and the overwhelming emotions whipped up by my family trauma, I became an avid reader, gobbling up book after book. A lonely little girl living in a world of make-believe. When I read, I envision the story and revel in it. If the words are exceedingly picturesque, I read them over and over, tasting them on my tongue and storing them in my brain. I am in awe of writers who have the gift of extraordinary expression. My writing started with journals and poems, which I used as an outlet for my many jumbled emotions. I am a natural-born reader, and the writing followed. I do my best to emulate authors I admire and respect, trying to paint illuminating word pictures that reach into the heart and rest there. I have used books by Stephen King, writing a memoir of the craft, and Mary Carr's The Art of the Memoir, and found them most helpful.
What are some of the most interesting and exciting projects you are working on now?
I am currently undergoing cancer treatments and recovering from surgery. While doing this, I'm resurrecting several short articles on subjects that are helpful to women. I intend to start a women's group through Zoom and offer participants these articles as gifts. I thoroughly enjoy encouraging people to see their issues through a different lens.
Here is the main question of our interview. Based on your experience, what are the 5 things you need to be a successful author or writer? Please share a story or example of each.
1, write what you know and understand. Believe in your message and have the courage to share it. Strive for a work that brings humor, hope, and healing. Know your subject well, whether fiction or nonfiction. When I wrote my first book, very little had been written about the effects a person's addiction has on the family. I was determined to share my story of being married to a man who was not only an addict, but a batterer, and the story behind the story of why I fell in love with him. I knew thousands, if not millions, of women could relate to and benefit from my story. And I received letter after letter telling me of similar situations. 2, believe in yourself and persevere no matter what obstacles or difficulties stand in your way. It helped. It helped that I was determined to come to the aid of those like me who needed to read my message. My husband and my mother scoffed when I announced I was planning to write a book. Neither of them understood my ambition, so they continued to make demands on my time, including insisting on going on a 3-week vacation to visit family when I was halfway through the book. I went with them, but I took a notebook and constantly made notes and observations that proved vital to my mission. Since then, I have discovered that most people are unaware of how much dedication and concentration it takes to write a book. I've learned to leave my phone to voicemail and not answer the door. I set boundaries around the time I dedicate to writing. One exception I always take calls from my children. 3, write from the heart about something that has meaning for you and know your subject inside and out. Do your research. Seek detailed knowledge and be diligent about truth, presenting facts to the best of your knowledge. In my recent books, I have spent hours on the computer checking my historical facts, making sure my memories of events are accurate and that I have the dates right. For example, my scant memories of the Second World War included the blackouts, the food rations, and the prevailing fear. I had to check my facts before publication. I also asked other family members if they remember certain events and perused old photographs. When I include messages from other people in my books, I ask permission, and I double-check any biblical messages I include. 4, people learn in 3 ways: visual, audible, and kinesthetic. Draw mental pictures of what you want people to understand and let your words touch their hearts. Don't just tell them about it. It was essential to me that people understand the emotional pain and agony and the hopelessness and the longing that go into being the wife of an addict or the child of a sometimes totally unhinged, addicted father. Life in both cases was always accompanied by moments of optimism. I promise I will never do it again. Followed by the complete despair of the broken promise, yet again.